Hi guys and welcome to the Bristol Rovers vs Sunderland match review, and it was another fantastic 3 points to the lads. So we started off this game with McLaughlin in goal. We had Dunn and Baldwin in the middle of defence with James on the left, 09 on the right. We had Leadbitter and Catamol linking up as the central midfielders again. With we had Honeyman, we had Watmore and McGeady as well behind Will Grigg. So we got into this game, and I think we came out relatively defensively, which was a little bit unsure of. We kind of sat back a little bit, absorbed a little bit of pressure. They didn't seem too dangerous, Bristol Rovers. There was just quite a few sort of corners and crosses that come in. There was a few sort of half chances around the edge of the box that they would have dragged wide and what have you. And we didn't look great at all. I think Leadbitter, for me, was absolutely fantastic. Leadbitter, he was the sort of link between defence, bringing it to midfield. He would come deep, collect it, and he would play it out to midfield. And he was very good at that, trying to keep control of the game, which I don't think we did do for large parts of the first half. But I think McGeady, again, I think he's growing massively in terms of the responsibility that he's taken on his shoulders. He just looks more and more mature within the game. I know he's already mature anyway because of his age and what have you, but I just feel like he's taken such a huge responsibility within the squad now when we're kind of sat back and we're not quite showing the urgency that we should. He is driving us up that pitch time and time again, and he was our main threat throughout the first half. For me, I don't think Watmore is quite cutting it yet. I know he's had these massive injuries, and I do love the lad. I do. I just think that for someone who off the pitch is such an intelligent lad, and he's got this, that, and the other in terms of degrees or masters or whatever he is. He's got. I don't know what it is. I don't want to slate the lad because I do love him, but he just seems like a very unintelligent footballer. I think some of the decision making he makes is rather confusing. With off the ball runs, and when he has the ball, he doesn't seem to have full control over it. He can cause danger in terms of how unpredictable he can be, but I don't think he can predict himself what he's going to do, because the ball's just bouncing everywhere when he's got the ball, and it didn't really work, particularly when he's trying to get the likes of Will Grigg in, and Watmore was trying to play the role of getting forward and almost trying to fit in the hole, and it interchanged with Honeyman as well, and we were desperately crying out, I think, for Maguire today. And I think if anyone should have played that sort of Maguire role as the sort of the link up between midfield and striker down the middle, I think it should have been Morgan. Morgan's a much more creative player, and I think it would have fit a lot better. Whereas Honeyman, he's a workhorse. He will work his arse off, but I just don't think he has that kind of quality that Maguire does, creative-wise, and creating chances and trying to get Grigg in there. I think Grigg had looked fantastic over the last couple of games when Maguire was involved and he was getting Grigg in, and we looked so much more dangerous going forward. And now that obviously Maguire is injured for the next 6 to 8 weeks, it's going to be a struggle to try and fill that gap. But yeah, so for me, I think Honeyman was a little bit disappointing. He did work his arse off, like I said, but I find him to be quite ineffective today. Same with Watmore. He did a lot of good running, but when he did have the ball, didn't do too much with it. It was all coming from McGeady. It was always McGeady bringing it from midfield to the final third. So eventually we did manage to break the deadlock. It was a relatively even game up until this point, about 25 minutes gone. We had a corner which was whipped in, a Leadbitter special. In fact, I think he did play it short to McGeady, so it wasn't quite a Leadbitter special. He played it short to McGeady, who pinged it over towards the back post to Grigg. I don't know whether it was a sort of cross-come shot by Grigg. He's volleyed it first time, sort of a cross goal, and 09 is there. My lad, Luke 09, to bundle it over the line to make it 1-0. And after that, I think it was a relatively settled game, to be honest with you. They weren't coming at us too much. They didn't cause us too much danger, but it was exactly the same the other way. We weren't causing them too much danger either. Anyway, we held on till half-time with it being 1-0. Second half comes out, and it was pretty much more of the same. I think all in all, it wasn't a great game to watch anyway. But we did get a chance. It was a free kick on the edge of the box, McGeady, and it was absolutely sweet as you like. Right on the edge of the box is Bennett into the top left-hand corner. Absolutely beautiful free kick, which had the game dead and buried there. And I think we did actually manage to control it quite well after that. Leadbitter in particular, again, who I thought was absolutely fantastic. He was so influential in that game, as well as McGeady as well, to be fair. We did go to sleep a little bit, I think, towards the back end, where Catamol, it was played to him his first time, tried to play it back to Dunn. and he's completely sold him short, and it was just typical catch. You know, we can have a fantastic game, and then he can just make himself look a right dick with a stupid mistake, and he almost did cost us. He gave it straight to the Rovers striker, who, you know, Dunn ended up wiping him out, but it was all on Cats really. But Wyke did come on for Grigg eventually. It was a shame for Grigg really. He didn't really get a sniff today whatsoever. I don't know whether he don't fit the system or this, that, and the other. Eventually, the goals will come for him. They'll start flying for him. But I think we need to try and find a system that will bring the best out of Grigg, because as of right now, he's not getting near it, really. We're not getting near him at all. And we need to, I've said it in previous match reviews, it's absolutely criminal to not use or make the most of a player like Grigg. So we are lucky that we did manage to win the game without him, really. Because at times he may as well have not even been there, because we're not even finding him. But anyway, Grigg did come off, Wyke come on, and Wyke had more chances than Grigg did in the entire game for the final sort of 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so he was on the pitch. One of them in particular was an absolute sitter. Morgan come on as well for Watmore, who looked really good as well. Morgan, he come in on the right hand side, took on his man, pulled it back to Wyke with a completely open goal. It would have been harder to miss, and he's just dragged it way wide. It weren't coming at him with pace or anything like that. He could have calmly placed it in, and he's dragged it way wide. And people, if you keep on saying to me, stop slating Grigg, he's just come back from injury. Sorry, stop slating Wyke, he's just come back from injury. How long has it been now? He's so shit. He's absolutely shit. He really is. He's an absolute donkey. I would rather Vaughan be up there. I would rather Altidore be up there. I mean, if he's going to keep causing chaos in the box, then so be it. But I'm not expecting him to score. He's had plenty of simple opportunities. Over the last 2 games, he's missed 2 of the easiest chances he's probably ever had in his entire career, and he still can't put it in the back of the net. But all in all, the game, we managed to wrap it up, finished 2-0 in the end, and it's another incredibly good 3 points. We went through this phase of constantly drawing games, which was really frustrating, and now I feel like we've gone back to the ways of we're getting 3 points but aren't playing particularly well, which, I would much rather that. It's just another case of, I felt like we strolled through that game in 3rd gear, 2nd gear, and we still managed to get away with a 2-0 win, which is absolutely fantastic. And there was times where the Bristol Rovers fans were chanting, I can't believe you're 3rd, or how are you 3rd, how the hell are you 3rd? And I thought to myself, it's true. We were playing pretty shit football, yet we're still beating you. So, it wasn't the best brand of football, but it's got us the really, really good result. And I think now, if I do check, we are obviously, of course, we're still 3rd. But Barnsley, who did play Portsmouth today, they drew 0-0, which means we currently have a game in hand, and we are 2 points behind Barnsley in 2nd. So if we win that game in hand, and I know we keep talking about games in hand, but if they're we're going to talk about them. If we do win that game in hand, we will jump up to 2nd. So that is it. And my man of the match today is going to be Grant Ledbetter. And of course, which I do have to place on record, because I have slated the defence a lot over the last few games, and rightly so. I think they were very good today. They were much improved. A couple of little blips here and there by Dunn, with his sort of positioning, which seems to be his biggest bother. I think his sort of defensive awareness and his positional awareness is pretty goddamn poor. But today he had improved. Same with Flanagan at the back. I think they were both very, very good today, all in all. So, I'm not going to give too much shit to the defence today for a change. But anyway, that is it. It's a very, very good 3 points. If you have enjoyed this match review, please hit the like button for me. It would be massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarny Army. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.